Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome here to the launch pad and our live countdown to launch coverage of the 70th Electron rocket set to launch from Launch Complex 1A, the Macquarie Peninsula in New Zealand. If it's your first time here, though, welcome. My name's Zach. I'm the founder and host here at the Launchpad Network, and here at TOP, it's our mission to inform and inspire the explorers of tomorrow because we believe that space is better together, and we're glad to have you joining us live here this afternoon. It is a busy day in spaceflight. We had the attempted launch this morning that got scrubbed, but now we have an Electron launch, and all eyes are also down on Starbase as S-37 has rolled out to the pad and is preparing to be stacked onto Booster 16, ahead of Starship Flight Test 10 tomorrow. So lots of exciting things happening. We're glad to have you here. Take a moment, let us know in the chat where you're watching from. We'll do some shout outs. And as always, if you guys have questions, you can send those in the chat by tagging me at the Launchpad, and I'll work on answering those live to the best of my ability through today's broadcast. We're at L-22 minutes and counting. We've got a live look at the radar on the right side of your screen, looking at how the conditions are around the Rocket Lab launch site. Today's today's Electron rocket will be carrying the EchoStar Lyra-2. This is a Block 1 4-satellite constellation that will deliver global Internet of Things and IoT, machine-to-machine, and other data services. The EchoStar will operate the constellation from Australian subsidiary EchoStar Global. So there's one of those on board. It's heading up to Sun-Synchronous Orbit. There are also 4 confidential payloads that are on board this mission, also heading up to a Sun-Synchronous Orbit. Now, Rocket Lab confirmed just earlier that everything is looking good for today's flight. LOX load was underway, weather was go, and Electron was ready for launch at the 20-minute mark. Today's mission is Live, Laugh, Launch. They are targeting liftoff at 6:42 p.m. Eastern Time or 10:42 a.m. local time. As I said, this is the 70th mission for Electron. It will be the 12th launch Rocket Lab has completed this year. Now, Rocket Lab will not be attempting to recover the booster here today. Hopefully, we will see them maybe look at doing more of that in the future, but they are becoming very busy in their launch schedule now. It seems to have a Rocket Lab every 2-3 weeks, which is really, really awesome to have. We got lots of people tuning in from all over the world. We got Canada Boy in BC. We got Rudd in Montreal. Welcome. Shauna is in Virginia. Toast and Loaf is in Alabama. We got Xavi, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, in Japan. Jess is in New Zealand. Bill is watching from Walla Walla in the US. Kimmy is watching from northern Norway above the Arctic Circle. That is awesome, Kimmy. Are you up near one of the launch sites there? Let us know in the chat there. Now, as I said, if you guys have questions, you can send those in the chat by tagging me at the Launchpad, and I'll work on answering those live. Rocket Lab should be getting underway here in just a moment with their live broadcast, and once they do, we will, of course, listen in to Rocket Lab Mission Control. Now, if for any reason they have videos with music playing, unfortunately, we will have to mute the audio just in those videos, but we will immediately unmute it when they're back to their commentators or that go, no go poll that will occur at the L-12 minute mark. L-19 minutes, 30 seconds and counting. We'll sync our T0 with Rocket Lab once they begin their live view. We did want to give a quick shout out to one of our incredible rocket chasers, Gavin, who is down on site at Starbase. The first photos from him have dropped over on the Launchpad store, so definitely take a moment while we wait for Rocket Lab to get underway there and check those out. Order yourself a poster to commemorate the 10th flight of Starship. Lived in Andes where the launch failed recently. Oh, that's awesome. Are you still up there, Kimmy? Robert's watching from sunny Florida. Sandra in space is watching from Christchurch in New Zealand. We got Light Dreamer in Quebec. Welcome. And we got GIZ in Nevada. Hey, Robert, how's it going? Great to have so many of you joining us here live this afternoon. Rocket Lab spooling up their intro videos. They will begin their live coverage here in just a moment's time. Again, you can keep sending in those comments and questions in the chat by tagging me at the Launchpad, and we'll work on answering those live. I am keeping a close eye On Starship as well, it is still on the ground, but the chopsticks are in position, and the quick disconnect arm is swung out of the way. It was long before Starship got to the pad, so they are really getting ready and in preparation to lift Starship S-37 aboard Booster 17. Excuse me, Booster 16. I keep saying those out of order. For Flight 10 tomorrow. Let's listen in to Rocket Lab Mission Control.
Electron is standing tall on Pad A at Launch Complex 1 on the eastern shore of New Zealand. Liftoff is expected in 17 minutes, bound for low Earth orbit. Hello and welcome to the live broadcast of Electron's next mission and our 70th launch. We are celebrating the milestone with a special name we've been saving for a special occasion, Live, Laugh, Launch, a mantra we can all relate to here at Rocket Lab. My name is Prachi Saknani.
And I'm Sam Peters, and we're joining you here from Rocket Lab Mission Control in New Zealand. We're targeting liftoff at 10:42 a.m. local time or 22:42 UTC. The team has been busy throughout the morning preparing for launch vehicle on the pad, with operations going well so far on Pad A at Launch Complex 1. Now, today's mission will be Electron's 12th this year, and the vehicle is looking nice and ready for launch, with LOX loading well underway. LOX loading begins around 2 hours before liftoff, before being continuously circulated to keep it at the right temperature for the mission.
That's right. Today, Live, Laugh, Launch is flying from Pad A at LC1, and at our customer's request, we'll be ending today's broadcast shortly after kickstage separation.
But for now, it was a little less than a decade ago in 2017 that Electron took to the skies with its very first ever mission called It's a Test. And now here we are about to fly our 70th mission to Live, Laugh, Launch. Electron is a powerhouse in the launch industry and the leader of small lift, completing missions in the name of scientific research, climate monitoring, global connectivity, and national security. We've launched for NASA, the NRO, a huge range of commercial customers, and have been pushing the boundaries of what a small orbital launch vehicle can do.
Let's take a look at Electron's rocket-like growth.
And as I said, they're going to play some wonderful videos that have some incredible copyrighted music included in them, so unfortunately we will have to mute the audio just for those few clips there, but we will of course unmute them immediately once they are back with their live commentary. We do want to of course keep an eye on Starbase as they are preparing to lift Starship onto booster 16 in preparation for flight. Got it right that time. So we'll bring up a split screen there so you guys can see a live look at from our very own TLP Starbase camera, taking a look at the ship and booster at Pad A of the 2 pads down at Starbase, Texas. This is a great time to send in your guys' comments and questions. You can send those in the chat by tagging me at the launch pad, and I'll work on answering those live while we continue through the broadcast. Also, take a moment, make sure you've engaged that like button, share out the stream, invite people to join us as we count down to liftoff now, just under 15 minutes and counting till launch. We got Jay-Z watching from Connecticut. Levi is in Oregon. Welcome. Great to have you here. It's incredible that Flight 27 was 2022, and here we are 3 years later, and we're at Flight 70 already. It's Electron. It had a little bit of a bumpy start for some of those earlier missions when TLP was just getting started, but it's had an incredible track record here in the last year or two, launching not only from New Zealand, but also from Wallops in Virginia, and that is where they will launch Neutron, hopefully later this year. Eric, who's excited for X-Flight, is that what we're calling it? Are we doing the iPhone method where we're calling it X instead of 10? I think it should be Flight 10. I don't know. We might have to do a poll in the chat tomorrow with you guys to determine, is it Flight 10? Is it Flight X? Is it Flight 2? No, not 2. What is it? I'm even forgetting my French. Is it Flight 10 in French? Flight 10? We'll have to wait and find out.
Packed one for Electron. We've had a month of 4 launches back-to-back in June, with 2 of those within just a 2-day period, making it our fastest turnaround time yet from the same launch site. It feels like every month we're celebrating a new milestone, and today is no exception as we prepare to cross Flight 70 off our list.
That's right, and at T-minus 12 minutes to liftoff, it's time for us to check in with Mission Control and our launch operators, who will be running the count today. Our launch director is Paula Seralonga, who will go down the line with each operator to make sure that each station is ready to proceed with the final minutes of the countdown. This is what we call the go, no-go sequence, and it's one of the key safety checks before we prepare to send Electron on its way. Let's listen in now to Mission Control to see how Electron is tracking for launch.
Control stations LD and Mission Core proceeding with the go, no-go sequence. Stage.
Stage is go.
Avionics.
Avionics is go.
GNC.
GNC is go.
Vicon.
Vicon is go.
T1.
T1 is go.
GC.
GC is go.
PLS.
PLS is go.
RSO.
RSO is go.
MET.
MET is go.
MM.
MM is go.
LDSAP.
LDSAP is go.
Copy all. We go, no-go sequence is now complete. We are T-minus 11 minutes 23 seconds and counting. We are go for terminal count auto sequence starting at T-minus 10 minutes. From this time, the 3-word procedure is in effect.
Fantastic. All goes across the board from Mission Control to move forward with today's launch. We are currently T-minus 11 to liftoff, which is currently set at 10:42 a.m. local time. Now, if we need to shift or push that back for any reason, we have a 2-hour launch window today and can reset the clock if need be.
GC, LD and Mission Court.
LDGC.
GC proceed with sequence 57, part terminal checks.
Copy sequence 57 and worker.
"70 launches deep for Electron, but I can hear you asking, what about Neutron? Well, we reached a few exciting milestones recently for our new medium lift rocket that the team have been working hard on getting ready for launch. The qualification campaign for Neutron's engine Archimedes has been full fire at our test site at the Stennis Space Center in Mississippi and showing off some beautiful blue plume from its liquid oxygen and methane mix.
Absolutely. Archimedes is a highly reusable liquid propellant engine with an oxidizer-rich stage combustion cycle, making it capable of a total liftoff thrust of 1,485,000 pounds of thrust. For context, the Rutherford engines on Electron reach up to 43,000 pounds of thrust at liftoff, but Neutron is over twice as tall, about 5 times wider, and about 40 times heavier than Electron. So you can imagine Archimedes is going through a very rigorous qualification campaign to make it ready for and reliable for Neutron launches and, of course, landings back on Earth. Let's check it out.
And if you're just joining us, welcome. We are at L-8 minutes, 22 seconds, and counting to launch of the 70th Electron rocket from Rocket Lab. On the right side of your screen is also a live view down at Starbase, Texas, as we await the stacking of Starship S-37. Rocket Lab playing through another video here with some beautiful music, but we'll keep it up on the screen so you can at least see it, of the incredible development happening of Neutron, their next generation launch vehicle that will hopefully come online by the end of this year. Their Archimedes engine, an incredibly powerful engine that will power Neutron to space and help it be reusable. If you're just joining us, though, a few minutes ago, we did listen in to that go, no go poll from the launch team, and everything polled go for launch. Most importantly, met. That is the weather one. We always try to listen into that one, as weather always seems to be one that is always hit and miss sometimes with these launches, so it's always great to hear them put go right away. As we continue to countdown to launch of Electron, we do have our countdown to launch streams for Starship, so if you want to stay up to date on the latest of those with the countdowns, the status boards, everything that we do for our countdown to launch coverage, make sure you pull up those streams in another feed. Let's listen back in to Rocket Lab Mission Control.
Machine that engine is. Around 90% of Archimedes is made up of 3D printed material manufactured at our Engine Development Center in Long Beach, including the housings for the turbo pumps and valves and components for the engine's structure, pre-burner, and main chamber.
That's right, and the shop floor is also set up for the manufacturing and assembly teams to be able to produce an engine every 11 days or so, and averaging around 3 to 4 hot fires a day at Stennis. Some pretty incredible stuff from the Neutron team.
Copy.
We are listening into Rocket Lab Mission Control feed, so we go into the final minutes of the count. That white coating you can see on the rocket is where the propellant has been fueled onto Electron, is super chilled, so it turns the rocket from black to white with that outer ice layer that develops because of those and the super chilled fuels. The venting you see from the vehicle is also normal as they top off those tanks in preparation for flight. L-5 minutes, 25 seconds and counting till launch.
LDGC on mission.
GCLE.
Turning back now to today's launch, and you can see with the countdown clock on your screen there, we are getting ever closer to entering the final stretch before today's mission, Live, Laugh, Launch. The extremely cold liquid oxygen propellant that Electron uses makes any moisture on the rocket freeze, and so the white on Electron tells us that the LOX is being loaded and we are nearly ready to take flight. In just a moment, we'll enter the final countdown where Electron will take over the controls as its flight computer autonomously completes a series of critical checks before liftoff. One callout we can expect from mission control is that LOX is in circulation, which means Electron's tanks are fully topped off and the propellant is being circulated.
That's right. We'll also hear a call out confirming that both stages of the rocket are fully pressurized for flight before, last but not least, our launch director will begin the 10-second countdown to liftoff. And that time is almost here, so let's bring up the audio channels at mission control and listen carefully for those call outs. We'll be back with you shortly after liftoff.
And as we listen in to the mission control nets for the final 3.5 minutes of the count, let's see that go, no go for launch in the chat. If you're not a TLP member yet, consider hitting that join button. Just 99 cents a month helps support our mission to inform and inspire the explorers of tomorrow, because space is better together. It also gets you access to those custom TLP launch emotes and more, so make sure you hit that join button. It takes just like 30 seconds to do it, and you can
From
cut
now,
those
there
launch
should be
emotes.
no red flags on your critical LCCs. Beacon LD admission card.
Let's listen in to launch control.
Beacon lock the auto sequence and confirm.
Auto sequence is locked.
And confirm all flight computer ASCOs are green.
Confirmed.
Copy, thank you, Beacon. We'll go for auto sequence start at T-2 minutes. LDs go for launch.
And as we get down to that 2-minute mark, we'll go full screen on RocketLab. If you want to keep Starship open, we do have our dedicated stacking stream and our countdown to launch stream available for those as well. L-2 minutes and counting till the 70th Electron will take flight. Live, laugh, launch.
The vehicle is fully on the entire bar. AFTS is green and enable for flight.
LOX load is complete. System is in recirculation. Anti-geysering is disabled. Stage 1 and 2 tanks are pressed for flight.
High flow engine purge enabled.
T-20 seconds and counting. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
Beginning pitch run.
Stage 1 propulsion nominal.
There goes Electron, a beautiful liftoff there for Live, Laugh, Launch, now on its way to orbit. Electron is quickly picking up its speed and altitude and approaching a crucial moment in launch that we call max Q, or maximum aerodynamic pressure. This is when the atmospheric forces on the vehicle are at their peak.
That's right, and we're standing by now for the call from Mission Control that we have successfully navigated this phase.
Cleared max Q.
AGB discharge nominal.
And that's confirmation from Mission Control that Electron has successfully passed through max Q. All data is looking nominal so far, and the rocket speed and altitude are right on target. Next up will be first stage separation and MECO, or main engine cutoff.
Is nominal.
Electron's first stage is powered by 9 Rutherford engine that, as Sam mentioned, will soon power down in preparation for MECO. Once that's complete, the first and second stages of Electron will separate, allowing Electron to drop the first stage that it no longer needs. Next, the single vacuum-optimized Rutherford engine on the second stage will ignite so that it can propel the second stage and the payload to its orbital destination. These actions are coming up in just a few moments, so let's check them out.
15 seconds to staging.
Engine burnout detect mode.
MECO confirmed.
Stage separation confirmed.
Stage 2 ignition confirmed.
A beautiful engine light up for the second stage Rutherford, powering the mission now at more than 8,000 kilometers per hour and 93 kilometers in altitude. Now that we've dropped the dead weight of the first stage, next to separate will be Electron's fairing halves from the top of the second stage. That will expose the payload attached to the kick stage to space for the very first time. Always a really exciting moment in the mission. Let's listen in now to Mission Control and keep an eye out for those two fairing halves to fall away.
Fairing jettison confirmed.
And there they go, the fairings have been jettisoned away right on schedule at T+3 minutes into flight.
AGB discharge holding nominal.
We're cruising now over 9,000 kilometers per hour at an altitude of 142 kilometers. We've got about 5 minutes left on the second stage's engine burn time. Now, next up will be key milestones for Electron called battery hot swap, which we'll see shortly.
Stage 2 propulsion holding nominal.
The engine nozzle on your screen there belongs to Electron's Stage 2 Rutherford engine, an engine that is very unique. The pumps that feed propellant into the combustion chamber are powered by electric motors and high-voltage batteries. This cuts down on much of the complex machinery required for gas-powered engines, meaning that the Rutherford is simpler to build than a traditional engine, but it is also fiercely efficient with a 90% efficiency.
That's right, and since the second stage's journey lasts for longer than the batteries it started with, Electron has to swap to a fresh set along the way. This has the added benefit, of course, of reducing mass and increasing performance for the rest of the flight when those old battery packs fall away. Now, coming up in just a few moments will be that milestone, which we call the hot swap. If you look closely, you should be able to see that the first pack of batteries jettison away from the second stage. Let's listen in to Mission Control now.
Guidance is nominal. 200 seconds remaining.
HEB discharge, holding nominal, approaching hot swap in roughly 30 seconds.
Throttling down.
Battery jettison confirmed.
Confirm hot swap successful.
Excellent call out there, and thank you to those batteries for their service onward and upward for Liftoff launch. Electron's Rutherford engine is powering on bright and beautiful, with the vehicle's velocity now at more than 16,600 kilometers per hour and getting closer to its required altitude now at more than 198 kilometers above Earth. Next up, we have our second engine cutoff, or SECO, where the second stage engine will power down to prepare for kick stage separation.
HEB discharge, holding nominal.
Now, typically, an Electron journey from the launch pad to the mission's target altitude takes less than 10 minutes total. Right now, we are about 7 minutes into Electron's 70th flight, so we have only a few more minutes to go until this phase of the mission is complete. So far, everything is proceeding nominally, and our current speed is right on target at about 21,000 kilometers per hour.
The nozzle on the Stage 2 Rutherford is glowing strong, and we are about 195 kilometers in altitude and dropping towards our perigee, and the views from space aren't bad either.
Entered burnout detect mode.
The second stage will soon be towards the end of its journey, where it will throttle down and shut off in time to allow for the kick stage and its payload to separate.
That's right, and after second engine cutoff, or SECO, the kick stage with its payload will enter a coasting phase as it orbits Earth, preparing to deploy today's payload. Let's listen in now to mission control to hear when we cleared SECO and separate the kick stage from Stage 2.
SECO confirmed.
Stage separation confirmed.
Nominal transfer orbit achieved.
And there it is, SECO confirmed, and the kick stage has separated with today's payload, placing it in an elliptical parking orbit. It will now coast around Earth for about 40 minutes or so before the Curie engine ignites to circularize the kick stage's orbit and deploy today's payload.
And at the request of the customer, we'll be ending the broadcast now, but stay glued to our social media accounts for confirmation of payload deployment. It'll be coming up in the next 40. Thank you so much for tuning in to celebrate Electron's 70th launch.
And there we have it, confirmation that they'll be ending the stream early. We thought this might happen due to there being 4 classified payloads on board, or at least they haven't been announced yet. But that's going to do it for us here from our TLP Canada studio for our live coverage of the 70th flight of Electron. But there's still lots happening today in spaceflight. Head over to our other streams to take a look at our ISS Now stream, our 24/7 cameras and tracking of the International Space Station, along with Starbase Now, our 24/7 cameras covering all the developments at Starbase. We're, of course, monitoring the conditions down at Starbase as they prepare to stack Starship S-37 aboard Booster 16 ahead of Flight 10 tomorrow. It's another busy day in spaceflight tomorrow with the launch of SpaceX CRS-33 to the International Space Station, and then later in the day, Flight 10 of Starship. But for now, from our TLP Canada studio, this is going to wrap up our live launch coverage of Rocket Lab's 70th flight. We'll see you over on the Starship stream, the ISS stream, or next time, because space is better together. Goodbye.